big bucket of chicken. Episode 10, Kev. We did it. Double digits.
I always wish I could do like a good like drum thing and to end it like I suck.
Your air drumming is even not bad.
It's
There was
terrible.
like
Yeah,
there's
there's
a lot of this
no.
in the air. The cymbals or drums are nowhere near where you're like, is this it? Am I doing it?
I know I got my daughter a snare drum for her birthday, so she's good at that stuff.
Yeah, I wish when I was a little kid I started doing stuff like, hey, how about like
Not at,
accounting or
not at 40,
stocks?
not at 42. I want to start drums.
I'll tell you what though, and I didn't even think about it until just now. This is my Dwight Schrute shirt. One of my Dwight Schrute shirts. I have a few. Nothing will make you feel fatter than when you put on a shirt you haven't put on in like a year, and you're like, oh, that's different. That's different. Let me go look in the mirror and see what it looks like. You're like, oh yeah, it shrunk. Kev, nothing else happened. The shirt in the drawer in the last year, just the moisture in the air just shrunk it. That's what happens.
Last year I had a lot of I still had like a garbage bag or Home Depot box full of just like old shirts in my back room. So I told my kids, I was like, I'm going to do a fashion show for you guys. And you got to tell me, is this just way too, like, am I just too fat for this shirt now? So I put on too sexy and I started putting all the shirts on. And so, like, if it was like up to here, I'd be like, oh, we got to get rid of it. So I did that and I just kept looping the song. I did like a solid hour of I'm too sexy for this shirt. And they're just like, the kids are just indifferent. They're like, how long do we have to keep doing this?
Yeah, you thought you were going to make a memory, and they were just like, I want to talk about this in therapy. My dad danced with his belly button in our face for an hour. Is this one too small? It's like, oh, God. I could smell your lint. Get out of here. Like, does this shirt from college still fit me? It's just like, it's pretty much like a bra at this point.
I always, you know what I had a, you know what's funny too? I have a lot of like one of a kind, like only Kevin would buy a t-shirt like this thing. I've always wanted to like donate it and then like run into the person that got it. Like, hey, I was like, is that my Mysterio shirt? Is that the guy pumping my gas? What the fuck? That's my goal.
It's like your
Because I
personal
know it will
tales
be.
from the crypt.
That's the thing. I know I will have no doubt that it will be. It's my fucking shirt, right? Like I know that no asshole is buying this shirt besides me. There's nobody else in the universe.
It's like that episode from Tales from the Crypt, like your personal, like you donate your eye, and then like that guy just starts doing what you're doing, and like you're both instead of committing crimes, just like he just started eating Doritos, and he like played Sega Genesis a lot. We don't know what happened.
I was working out today, and my trainer was like, "Oh, I could start to see something like on your arm." I was like, imagine just like a Dorito fell out, like when you just said that, and started cracking up. It's
I'm
all about
starting to see something.
self-deprecation. That's the thing, Lou. That's what keeps us level-headed. That's self-deprecation. That's what keeps us on the ground here.
It humbles us. I mean, look, I'm not lying. I put this shirt on. I haven't worn this shirt, um, since I moved in here, and I've been here for it's almost it's exactly like a year and a half, because I just even at my age, Kev, at our age, middle age, I take a bin of laundry and I wash it, and then I take that laundry out of the dryer, and maybe I'm not saying if I will or I will not fold it, but I will not. It goes on the couch in my bedroom or the bed somewhere, and then I just feed off that pile of clothes for like 5 to 7 days, and it goes from the washing machine to the dryer to the hamper basket to a pile back into the hamper into the washer into the dryer. And I'm a creature of habit. The same, like right now it's winter, so there's sweatpants in the mix, pants and socks. In about 3 or 4 months, the pants and the socks will go away, and it will just be shorts and t-shirts, and the same like 9 outfits for 6 to 7 months. Anyway, this shirt I pulled out of a drawer, and you could another fat people really. You pick it up and you look at it, and you immediately know, like, all right, here we go. It's this much of a square. I need at least this much more of a square. You put it on, you're like, oh, there it is.
I struggle here. If it's tight here, and like the like kind of the tits start coming out, then I'm like, it's not gonna go well. If it's not going well here, it's gonna get worse here. So that's usually what happens.
If I
And
could see my
I
hair
also
through the
have
shirt.
and I also know what shirts are still good and which are not. And it sucks because you really want to wear some of the cool ones, but you know that first time through the wash, it totally trunk and you're fucked. And for some reason, some of these shirts just hold up. I remember I had shirts that, like, for 3 years, for some reason, still fit me, and nothing else did, or would shrink right away. I remember vividly there was one shirt I had. It was Spider-Man versus the Vulture. It was like the cover of Spider-Man #2, and I remember that shirt. Like, I wore that shirt down, man, and I don't know what the fuck it was made out of. I wish every shirt I owned was made out of whatever that was. And I also remember getting props when I go to the bar. I remember went to the bar in the city one night, and the bouncer was a big black dude, and he like gave me like he's like, I don't know what that fucking shirt is. I was like, see, like that's when like the Marvel thing was starting to come up for me. Like I was starting to get the street cred that I had never got when I was a kid. Like the movies started coming out, and I was like, okay, I can handle this now. Did you go mute, Lou? I can't hear you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hold on. Sorry. There's a button. It's one of those buttons on this microphone. It's like a touch button.
You hit the
Just like
cough button.
yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I try to gag a little bit.
It looks like you
Anyway, but
just
no.
swat. It looks like you just fucking like regurgitated a fucking face hugger or something.
Yeah, dude. It's just anything that's 100% cotton is going to shrink. But I feel like it's so. Let's say it shrinks. I don't know, 5%. After 1,000 washes, of course, shirts become like they start like falling apart. You know, you could like just like go like this and take a piece of it. I like letting shirts also. I think a lot of guys are like that. I'll wear shit until it is like, I don't know what the right word is. Like, it's not like it's destroyed. Like I'm wearing like, like clothes that are like in the mud or anything, but like a pair of underwear. And I'll admit this right here on the podcast, and you
I
could
mean, you
deny it
might
if
as
you
well
want.
after last episode.
Yeah, you just like, it's like you got a hole, like a little hole in like the seam of your underwear. Like, I don't give a shit. No one's gonna see these underwear. Even my girlfriend, like, either she sees them or she does. Who cares? And then, like, I remember I had a pair of underwear just about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. And I bought a new package of underwear. I bought new underwear and undershirts because I wear like undershirts, right? This pair of underwear, I didn't realize like how big the hole got. Like, it just like gets bigger. Every time you wash it, it gets bigger and bigger. I was working one day and I was driving in my van and I can feel that my entire like dick and balls is like outside. It's not in clothes
I,
anymore,
I,
right?
I was thinking it was gonna just say your ass. I just did not
No,
know
no, dude.
like dick and
Like I
balls.
got home and I took them off, right? So like it's like okay, you got the top hole which goes around your waist, the two leg holes, and then a hole that is it's like another leg hole in the middle. Like they're not underwear anymore. It's just like a shred of like fabric I was wrapping around. I just didn't notice it. And I
But
picked it.
I think the funny thing that I'm thinking about right now is that you were in your head. You're like, I can give this one more go.
No, I couldn't. I
One
brought it
more
home.
outing for this one, and I'll throw it away.
And you know what I have to do? I don't know who else could be like this, but like I have a weird thing about like I hate throwing shit away, even though like that thing is obvious needs to be thrown
Did you
away.
Hulk Hogan your boxer shorts?
I have to rip them. I have to like rip them a piece, like shred them and throw them in the garbage. I have to like shred them even more than they're already shredded, just so I feel better about it.
You know what
Um,
I never worn? I know you're kind of like a greasy Italian. You like to wear them, but I never wore like wife beaters growing up. Like I never had undershirts, but
wear one
I
right
always
now.
get them. Like I got them for Christmas. If you see them back there, like that's been like 3 years. I just never opened them. Like I just get it from my mom for Christmas, and I just like okay.
You know what? I never did either until high school. Like senior in high school, I remember being like, high school is typical of like just like I mean, you think you're an adult because you're like 16 or 17, but you're a child. You like go to school, you go to like lunch, you go to gym, you change into your gym clothes, which is another t-shirt. You get sweaty and disgusting. Nobody was fucking using the showers in 2001. The showers were like storage. And then just put your good clean clothes back on. You're like, this feels gross. And I remember having the conversation because I also had football practice at the end of the day. I'm like, it's like 3 different layers of sweat and gross. And my friend Matt was like, dude, undershirts. I was like, let me try that. And I've been wearing them since. So like 25 years. I've been like, it's not so much because I sweat a lot. It's just, I actually don't feel, if I just put a t-shirt on now without an undershirt, I don't feel right. I feel like I'm naked.
Yeah, I'd be the opposite because I sweat easily. I that extra layer would definitely kill me inside. I'd be like, I'd be like sitting there like just shivering like from the heat that's coming off my brow. Like, yeah,
No,
I would
dude,
not be
try
able
it.
to
I'm telling you,
handle
it's
the
not for
extra
sweat.
layer.
It's for comfort. It's for comfort, and it's also for class. And if you really want to step your game up, do it.
Like,
Plus,
I'm aware.
you take this when I get home from work, I'll take my t-shirt off. I'm not just walking around my house with a shirt off. I have a tank. It's basically a tank top, and you feel less garbage until you just like walk outside and check the mail, or just go to the front of your house for any reason, like after work or in the morning, and you have that shirt on. You immediately feel like I'm trash. If you're outside with the shirt on, you're trash.
I
Inside,
just
you're
hope
fine.
there's somebody. I just hope there's somebody listening or watching the show and going, "Did they really just spend 15 minutes talking about fucking t-shirts?"
Yeah, bro. It's exactly. But what I wanted to talk about, you sent me something today, which was great, and yeah, you sent me something, and I'm going to see if I can, without losing. See, we're doing this through
I
my
already
phone.
know the song, so you can
Yeah.
if you.
So you basically sent me a list. It's like, because I double checked. I wanted to look up and see, like, are these the songs? So these are just the songs by decade. It's not like the top 5 songs of 2025, but by decade they are. So like, what are the kids or the people in general listening to the most of? And like in the 60s, it was a Creedence Clearwater Revival song, Fortunate Son. For 70s, it was
Fleetwood
Fleetwood
Mac
Mac.
Dream,
80s was forget who
Journey,
was the Journey, that's right. Don't Stop Believing. And then 90s was it
Goo Goo
Depeche
Dolls,
Mode? Oh,
the Goo Goo
Google. Oh, that's
Dolls,
right. Iris. So it was Iris from the Google Dolls with 90s. And then 2000s was I forgot what that
Mr.
one was. I forgot.
Brightside,
Oh yeah, well, okay. And then 2010s it was Tennessee Whiskey, and then the 2020 so far is some other, I don't know who it is,
Alex
but
Warren.
there you go, Kev. Thanks for your memory skills. But
Someone's got a photographic memory.
so it's a selective photographic memory.
I say that all the time. Listen, don't think that
Selective.
I boast about the things that I don't know. I always go, get math. That's all I always say. Like I say like Peter Griffin after I say that.
But you said something 2 weeks ago. You were like, you said it in the group chat. You were like, Deftones, Around the Fur, that album is back in the charts. It's like number 3 in the top 40 or top 100
Iris
because
was one of the top songs of the whole year.
yeah. So like we were talking about, like, why are the children? I want to say children. I'm sure it's everyone of all ages from 12 to fucking 60. But why are the children yearning for music of yesteryear? And we kind of mentioned it on one of the other episodes. I got that game called Hitster, which is a pretty cool game. You scan a card, it plays a song, you got to pick the year, and it's a cool game. And we noticed, me, my mom. My mom obviously doesn't know a lot of newer songs, but she knows some pop music. Everything from like 2010 and on. Not to say there's no good music or all of its, but it definitely is more homogenized of a sound. Like every decade has its sound. If I play a song right now, almost anyone could be like 60s, 70s, with a few exceptions because there's overlap, especially the end of 60s, beginning of 70s, end of 70s, or beginning of 80s. There is some like overlap in sound, but every decade has like its sound. And it was like that up until the early 2000s. And then once 2010 hit, it's like not just the overproduction. I really feel like I don't know what the word is, like the gravelly voice, whispery kind of, and like hyper bubblegum pop music is like in every genre. Like if you like country music now, like I guess the popular country, to me for the past over 10 years, but especially more now than ever, it's like boy band music with a twang and a guitar. It's just about, like, what NSYNC was thinking about like fucking 25 years ago. It's the same shit. So I just feel like when we were younger, and I was saying this to you before, in the 90s, I was listening to classic rock, 60s, 70s, and 80s music, even until college, a lot of classic rock. I think when you're young, you kind of like, my parents are listening to this, and I feel like maybe I'm pleasing them by listeing to this, or I mean, I did like it, I still do, But like now I'm like, it's got to be the same thing. Like people our age have children, they might be almost 20 and they're listening to the shit that they grew up on in the early 2000s. But I also feel like there's more to it based on just what we know about social media, technology, TikTok making things popular. A lot of the shit I'm assuming is because of TikTok. But also, I feel like because everyone's on the internet and the world is smaller, there's like this element of like an 18-year-old kid or a 15-year-old kid or a 30-year-old guy, whoever, they like know like this is trash, and the music is just better from before, and not just because it's nostalgic or vintage and it's cool to like vintage. It's just like there's more musicianship. The song lyrics are better. Like, what do you think?
Look, I have a lot of takes on this. I guess you'd say. What I will say without going into the long-winded
Do it.
explanation,
Go long-winded.
I think part of what you said is true. That there's something about the way the current music is made that there's really that is this good? I think that the kids are smartening up to that a little bit. And look, if something goes viral on TikTok, it literally can drive a song like Iris from the Goo Goo Dolls into like the most streamed songs of a year, or back on the Spotify charts for the entire summer. So the same thing with the Deftones. For some reason, something went viral on one of those platforms, and it got kids into it. But the whole gist of it is, and it's mainly what I've noticed, and look, it could be a lot different for other people, but the main decade that people are really going crazy for nostalgia is the 90s. And there's a lot of examples of, and I've heard people discuss this. There was a guy, the lead singer of Sugar Ray, of all people, had an amazing take on it on a podcast. I'll send that video to you, Lou. But the main idea is that we all had something we could look forward to, whether it be a show on Thursday night or CDs would come out the same day every week. A movie would come out that we used to all go to the movies. We all used to go to Blockbuster to rent a new movie. We all used to do things kind of like as a group. Like there was a lot of water cooler things back then that people got excited about. And I think that there's just now with so many people on their little machines, the isolation has continued to harbor into the culture. And I think there's just a lack of togetherness that people feel. They feel a lot more alone, and they feel like there isn't, they've seen this decade and all the things that are positive about it. And look, the 90s wasn't perfect, but for some reason they decided to latch on to these moments or the things that were in the 90s. And it pretty much, the gist of it is, why were things so much better back then? Why aren't they like this now? And people don't know the answer to that, but they still want that question answered for themselves because they're able to relive through videos and whatever this decade, and they want that question answered. Why did it seem a lot better back then? What's going on now that's making it seem like it sucks? And I think the main thing, this is the last thing I'll say about it, is that we know too much. We have too much information. We're all able to access and see every single thing that's going on at every single time. We're so saturated by all the things that we can look at that we're not seeing the bigger picture of things now. And we're seeing that like simpler times seem like better times. And that's kind of, I do believe aspects of that, because obviously I grew up in the 90s and I was at a good age then. I felt like most of the decade the music was very good, and there was always bubblegum pop music no matter where you went, but there was also some amazing music. And then what you said is perfectly true. I mean, let's say 2010 and beyond, it kind of went away. in a way. And look, we get older and we have things that we know are good and we want to keep those things in our lives. But I think that the kids now know that those things that we had are very good and they want a part of it now. And I know for a fact, because I have 2 kids, all they want to listen to is music around the 90s because they know for some reason the way it was made. I don't know if that's the full reason, but there's something about it that they're drawn to. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. Sorry, I went longer than I thought, but there you go.
No, that I'm saying I really want to, because I think about it often, because like, all right, so what you said like simpler times. My parents in the 90s talked about the 70s being simpler times. My grandma talked about the 50s being simpler times. I think every generation does the same thing, and a lot of comedians and philosophers have talked about this. It's not the times, it's youth that's awesome. Being 15 is a lot better than being 45. I'm not 45, by the way. I'm just saying. I just whatever. What I'm saying is like, yeah, I do feel like the 90s are better, but I try to extrapolate in my brain. Like, okay, let's say I was 15 in 2026. So I will be in my 40s in the 2040s. Will I look back at the 2020s as like an awesome period that is simpler and better and have nostalgia for it? Probably, but I agree with you. I think 2010, 11, social media hits the market. Right before that, I wasn't on Instagram. Facebook was the thing, but it was so much different. In fact, us being our age, we were on Facebook like the second year it existed, or like a year after it came out. So like 2006, maybe I started getting on Facebook, and it came out like 2004 or 5. So I had a memory yesterday or last week, 19 years ago. And I sent it to our friend John. It was him from college. And even that picture was older than 19 years. But I was like, look, so I remember when Facebook was just what it was. It was like MySpace, just slightly better. It just was, I had a page, I can post stuff on it, and you can look at it. You couldn't even like stuff. You had to ask people to like, I saw someone, and I don't even remember how it worked. But the point is, social media comes out, everyone is interconnected. And as you said, everyone's on their device and all that shit. And just in the past 15 years, everything has, I don't want to say changed for the worse, evolved. So we went from, as you said, I have to look forward to a show. I have to look forward to new music. I have to look forward to new movies. Now it's a movie comes out. You're like, I'll watch it in my house. I'll pay $20 and sit in my house. Show comes out. I binge it. Music comes out, there it is on Spotify or wherever I get it from, or if you don't want to use Spotify, however you get your fucking music. Everything is super accessible. So I feel like maybe we in the past were looking forward to the future, like, hey, maybe one day everything, like instead of having a fucking CD, look at these iPods and these MP3 players. We'll have to have all this music, and now we have all that shit. And we're like, I still have my Discmans. I still have an old stereo. I still have a lot of old shit, and maybe we'll do an episode of like old shit that we still have. Like I still have like the Discman I had in like 2000, 2001. I bought it in college, and I had the Discman I had in the 90s. Still have them.
I was in the car this morning driving my daughter to school, and my phone died. And obviously your phone connects to your Bluetooth or whatever, and then you got to listen to the fucking radio. I'm like, oh God. But in my head, I'm like, 100%. If I get a new car like the next 2 years, I'm requesting a fucking CD player. I think that is one of the worst things that's happened is that there's no more CD players. I have all these CDs sitting here that I really would love to listen to in a pinch, and I can't. And that's cool that you have your Discman still. But I also will say too is that another thing my daughter for her birthday, she wanted a fucking record player, and I bought her I got her a record player. And she's getting Blink-182 albums, Weezer albums, Goo Goo Doll albums. She's into like older music. And I don't know what the hell it is.
I do think it's all interconnected. Like the kids, because they grew up into it, and I guess started realizing in the last couple of years, I've been seeing people write about articles about, we don't own anything anymore. If I have a DVD, I own the fucking DVD. I can play it whenever.
Well, we know about this.
We've talked, but I think it's all tied in. Like no one owns anything. Everything just exists digitally, which I think is fine. I don't need a lot of stuff lying around. But like Netflix, for example. So like there's no like feeling of whatever about Netflix. They're taking their own movies and like you see on Netflix, like, hey, going away soon, right? That section of like movies that are leaving. And it's like, big budget movies that they don't have all the rights to, but it's like their movies. Like it's a Netflix movie. Why are you getting rid of your movie? I pay the money for your service. All your movies should be here for fucking ever. And like now, if you don't have it and it's a Netflix movie, there's no more getting it. Like, where do I get it? So I feel like it's all interconnected. They're feeling it because your kid. How old is your oldest? What is she? Is she 12?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 12-year-olds are like, hey, wait a minute. Not only do I like the music, I like the idea of like having the fucking thing.
Right.
I have the thing.
Well,
and look, I don't have shit anymore. It's all on an iPad.
It's absolutely true. We've had this conversation about having physical media, physical like ownership of something. Look, it's not everything's most of the things like you said you can get on a platform of a music, Spotify or whatever, or you can get it on Netflix or one of the other 100 streaming services that they have. But we've also talked about what is missing from those platforms, which pisses me off. Now, number one, like you had just said, why the fuck aren't all the Netflix things that you made on your goddamn platform? Why are you taking things off when they're going nowhere? They're not even, there's no DVD to fucking get from a Netflix movie. So the other thing is about that is the same thing with like Disney. You would think every single thing that Disney has ever done would be on there, and that's fucking wrong. I remember going through and seeing, let's see how much is missing from this. And I was like, this is bullshit. And the price goes up every month. And then HBO is the other one that pissed me off because I loved growing up. I always had HBO from age 1. We had fucking HBO in our house. Every month they would have an original movie come out that were fucking really good. Like, it had like A-list actors. HBO produced the movie every month, a new one. And then, obviously HBO Max happens, HBO On Demand. You would think, oh shit, they're going to have all these fucking movies on there. They barely have any of them. So that's like, and we've already talked about this, the DVDs that I buy now are the ones that I know aren't streaming anywhere. And a lot of those HBO movies are the ones that I get because we're just, where the fuck are they? Like, it's bullshit. HBO owns the goddamn movies. Where the fuck are they? And that's the kind of bullshit that pisses me off. And then there's movies where you're like, how is this movie not streaming? How the fuck is this one not streaming? Where is it? And that's going to get worse and worse as you go along. And then you're going to go, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have gotten rid of that. Oh, I shouldn't have fucking threw that out. And then it's too late because that's eventually going to be the only way people are going to watch it. And then you're fucked. For example, this is a very obscure thing I'm about to say, and this is just kind of like how insane I am.
Say it.
Oh,
baby.
I will. So there's a movie called White Sands. It came out in like 1992. It's a Willem Dafoe, Mickey Rourke movie. It's not great. I happen to really like the movie. It was on Prime. I was like, I have the movie. I didn't feel like digging it out. I'm going to throw it on. It was the fucking censored version of the movie. I called Amazon to complain. They didn't even give a fuck. That's what I mean. It's like, why? Like, the F words bleeped out in the goddamn Amazon Prime version of White Sands. Like I couldn't believe it. But I'm saying, like, what's to stop any of those streaming services from just doing that with any movie that they want to, where you can't see the original version? Like, even like everybody's like up George Lucas's ass about how much he fucked over the Star Wars movies, like where you can't even like stream the original versions. He wants you to get like the new restored for 3D and like adds all this bullshit in. Like, you have to have those old VHS DVDs to see the actual original version of those movies now. He doesn't even offer those on streaming. That's the kind of shit that people should be really more pissed off about than they are, besides this fat ass.
Yeah, you're right, man. Like even like remastered versions of songs are, some of them for the most part you could barely tell a difference, but there's a few where I'm like, it doesn't sound like that last time I heard it. I could definitely like, I'm hearing different instruments. Well, I don't want this. I want the original Metallica. I want Ride the Lightning to sound shitty like it did on the album. Like, it's not recorded very well. It's good. I love it, but it's not recorded. Like their first album, Kill 'Em All, it's not recorded. It's recorded for, I guess, for the time, what they could afford very well. Obviously, it's not them in the garage. But when you listen to like remastered versions, I'm like, I don't like this. I want it to be a little shittier.
Well, think
Not
about
perfect.
that when all of a sudden in the final scene of Star Wars, all of a sudden Hayden Christensen pops up in Return of the Jedi. It's like,
Yeah, I remember they
like
did that. They
that's
did
the kind of shit. Or all of a sudden the FBI agents in ET have fucking flashlights instead of guns. Like they fucking are tinkering with this shit all the time. And some of the stuff you probably haven't even realized yet. There was a big thing. It ended up being that there was, I guess, different version of It's a Wonderful Life on Prime, like different versions. So like people thought though that Amazon edited the fucking movie, but there's some edited version that people are watching, and like there was like thousands of complaints about it. Like they were like, "What the fuck is this? Like an all-time classic? You can't even watch the original." You know, that's the kind of shit you got to watch out for, because censorship is censorship. But like when it's gonna when all we have of these things that we love, we're at the mercy now of this. If people continue to just get rid of their things, that's what all you have left. And then one day you're not even going to be able to buy something. You're gonna have to go. You have to go to the fucking Oracle, like at some fucking weird fucking flea market, like find like in a basement, like you got the stuff, and like you're fucking like paying like $4,800 for a copy of the Goonies. Like, I need this. You know, like that's what's gonna happen.
Gather around, children. The movie was called Kids, and his name was Casper. Close your eyes, and I will tell you a tale.
Guess what's not streaming?
Oh, I bought that fucking DVD.
Yeah.
I have it.
But because it's not streaming, right?
Because I started smelling, when you were talking about this for years, but I started smelling it really, like in the last year. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm buying that. Spun is on my list of DVDs to buy, the unrated, like crazy version. I'm getting that before it's like not only unavailable, but like they'll be like, it's available, but we had to really like censor the shit out of it because of bad words.
There is a censored version of Spun that literally
Of
has
course.
blurred out things in it.
Now, I mean, the only version I've ever seen is the actual blurred out version, because even when I think you had the DVD, it was censored from the actual original. So, but there is a completely unrated version. Like, I'm buying that. And movies like Come and See, but we could talk for 4 hours about this, and I will have an episode. We should plan an episode for like just our old shit. Like you talk about CD player in a car. My car's a 2013. It's vintage now, Kev. It has a fucking CD player.
That's great. I love that, because again, my phone dies. I want to pop in on my old CDs, and I think it would be cool to show the kids, like, hey, this is what we used to do. This is all we used to have.
This is what happens when you hit a bump, kids. Or like show them a new CD, and then show them like one of your CDs where it's like it looks like a fucking kaleidoscope on the back because it's been wiped with paper towel 4,000 times. It's like it's just scratches, and when you put it in, it's like a prayer. Oh, this will maybe track, like you have to skip the CDs that were so skipped. You had to like skip track 1. You're like, track 1's not going to play, but maybe track 3 will play.
Well, I'll say something on top of that is that the ones that really show the wear are the burn CDs. They decay. They like fall apart if you touch them. I had a lot of different of like Underworld and like really stuff you couldn't get. And I found one of those CDs and I put it into my computer so I could see if I could maybe burn it on there. the noises this thing made inside of my computer, like I was like banging it. I was like, it's not coming out. I'm like, we're like, oh shit. No, but like, then I look. I look. I mean, obviously, I knew. I was like, maybe there's a chance I can get one of the songs, but no.
No.
Like the bottom of it was like charred remains of plastic and whatever. And I'm like, why did I think that I was able to even listen to 1 second of this fucking? But again, this is stuff that I don't even know where to get from. Like it's like a full burn of a whole show, like that kind of stuff. Like some of that stuff, I don't even know where to start with some of it because it's not anywhere anymore.
Well, speaking of outdated and obsolete things, Kev, are you ready?
Fuck yeah, man.
And we're back. So
I don't know if you guys remember that we did this a long time ago. We used to do we call it Marvel's Best, where I talk about a character from Marvel that is not their best. And I find it kind of funny. You probably are like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I don't give a.
No, it's always it was always funny.
What I want.
I always liked it. Even I like the Marvel movies, but I never read the comics.
Yeah,
it was always all the characters were like, because you know all the characters, so it's like here's a character whose special power is being sad a lot. You're like, oh.
Or like he was the Kenny of the Marvel universe, like Prism. Like he just died. He just shatters, and he's just body's made out of crystal. And he just shatters every time they see him, and they go, "No, Prism." Anyway, like, that was one guy. But today,
who's the character?
This week's Marvel's Best comes to us from the pages of Spider-Man, and this guy actually made a small appearance in the second Spider-Verse movie, Across the Spider-Verse. He has a very short, blink and you'll miss it cameo when they're showing like the different alternate versions of people in the prison, and he shows up in there, which blew my fucking mind because this guy's super obscure. I think he has a total of like 10 appearances or whatever. His name is so remember Alphabets as a kid? Remember that cereal Alphabets? Like it was like you were learning as you were eating shitty marshmallows. They're like, I'm gonna spell words in my cereal. Well, think about that, but he's like a superhero vigilante type of guy. And we have ourselves, his name is TYPEFACE. So TYPEFACE actually has like a weird backstory where it's like, it kind of is like falling down in a way, like Michael Douglas. He like went to war, his brother died, he went home, his wife left him, and then he lost his job. He worked for a sign company, like where you make like big signs and things like that.
Yeah.
So he gets laid off from his job. He has no wife. His brother's dead. He has military training. So he decides to like take what he has from the sign company and make like weapons out of them. So like then he like starts taking like paint and putting like drawing like letters all over his face and like all over his body. And then he goes out and he's like kind of like a Punisher type of person, like trying to like spread his own brand of justice, but he's like a violent guy. So he's not really like a bad guy, but his weapons. I'm gonna go through this. So here are his weapons. He carries oversized, letter-shaped, bladed bludgeoning weapons like a giant T or S or a boomerang V, and he has bombs that resemble like children's letter blocks. So it's like the B and it's like the square. So like he'll throw one of those and it explodes. And then he also has modified Scrabble tiles that emit knockout gas. So this guy's like he's like Milton Bradley. He's like a fucking board game of the life. And literally like this guy that's his powers. He doesn't have any fucking like built-in powers. He just decided to draw a bunch of fucking letters on him. He's like, I can do this, and then just actually like hands Spider-Man in his ass with like the letter S. Like there's a little his S sword or his P like katana. So yeah, so the first couple episodes or comics he's in, Spider-Man actually like respects him. Like they end up like seeing eye to eye. Like he knows he's crazy, but he means well. So then like the next time you see him, he's in like the Civil War, like we have to pick a side, like we're Iron Man or Captain America, and he's like just thrown into that. So then all of a sudden they add like some more dangerous characters onto like Iron Man's team because Iron Man's like an asshole. He's just like, yeah, just get all the guys out of jail and just put them on my fucking team. So he has like Venom and like Taskmaster on his fucking team. So like when they're all like having the big fight at the end, Typeface gets slammed into a fucking car by Venom and just dies. So like he dies like in his 4th appearance in a comic book, and then he popped up in the movie, which was pretty cool. But the other thing I wanted to say too, he also talk. He has like they say he has like a really good vocabulary. So like his dialogue has like very like pointed words, like thesaurus type of words. But I love like even like AI, like you chat or you AI like the Google search, like what are Typeface's powers? And this is what it said. It says his powers stem from a literary obsession, making him a pun-based villain focused on typography and language. So he's a language arts book come to life. That's great. And then so while he doesn't have intrinsic superhuman abilities, Typeface's unique arsenal and intellect give him distinct powers related to typography and combat. You ever seen the words typography and combat together? Yeah. So this guy, as I said, very obscure. But there was also one other issue he was in where he found like a guy that was trying to be like his copycat, and the guy's fucking name was Spellcheck. So Typeface had a face off against Spellcheck in one comic. So yeah, this is like a totally ridiculous character, but the background of the character, he has like this tragic, like there's even like points in a story where he's saying like his brother died in a foreign country and he feels his brother had died in the cause of freedom, and this would motivate him to oppose the Registration Act. Like this like thing, like the guy's sitting there with like A's on his face and he's got this tragic like this, he's like Punisher with the fucking with alphabets on his face. Like it's just weird.
Yeah, I love it. It's like I love all those like, because it's like I just think like, okay, like I get it. There's like probably thousands of Marvel characters, right? Each, this is Captain America, but like it's like you work for the comic book company. It's like God damn it, McClure, you gotta have a character by Friday at 5. It's like Thursday at 2:00. You're like, shit. God, all right. So and then like Stiff and Blow, it's like 1974. You're like, I gotta come up with a character. You're like, I get it. How about a typewriter man? Oh, that's too stupid. That's simple. Typeface. That's his name. And his backstory, he was a war veteran. And then now he's flinging W's at criminals or heroes on the street. He's like a low-level vigilante. Like because you showed me the picture, which of course I've showed to the audience, but like I'll show the clip, from the Spider-Verse, that like one shot, and whatever pictures I can find online, like I did with the other stuff. But I'm like, there's so many. I mean, I remember one of the ones you did one time was his name was like he was like Dick Dastardly. What the hell is he? Was like 19th century man or something like that. What the fuck?
Oh,
he had
Turner
like a
D. Century.
Yeah, Turner D. Century. Like, what the fuck is that?
Oh my god! I went and bought he was for like the last 20 years he was missing from a comic. He was like randomly in a comic. I went out and fucking bought it so I could have it. Amazing character.
Turner. So like as in like a play in words, like turn of the century, Turner D. Century, like, and that's what he is, like handlebar mustache, top hat. He's got like a big bicycle, like
yeah. But he has a dual bicycle, and he has a dummy of a woman dressed in like Victorian clothes on the back. He has a flamethrower umbrella like the Penguin, and he also despises anyone under a certain age. Like he invented like this machine that only like puts like mind controls like certain people of a certain age into like, I think they like go deaf or like they're like buzzing in their ear or something like that. No, I'll next time I do this, I'll pull that comic and I'll show you like the modern Turner of the Century. And they get like political with it. It's really funny. I got to show you. The dialogue's hilarious. It's obviously a joke. It's in a Spider-Man comic, but it's like a Miles Morales comic, and but the dialogue is hilarious because it's like they make it like modern day. Like he's obviously like a conservative like douchebag online, Like it's really funny.
Eternity Century is a red pill.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Oh, you incels. Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah. So next episode, have your guy ready and we could talk about Eternity Century. And like I said, we could talk about the other shit forever, and I don't want to. I want to wrap the show up this week, but maybe next week, I do want to do like a show and tell. I want to gather because just the past couple of days, that's why we were talking about DVDs the other day. I had a box of DVDs. It's not like I didn't have any, and my girlfriend took it upon herself to like take my box of DVDs and set them up
That looks
downstairs
great.
and like a wall unit. They've been sitting in a box for like since 2021. I most of my life is in 4 or 5 boxes, other than my clothes and other shit. I really am just like I don't like stuff. Like you and I are the opposite. Like you have a lot of like figures and shit. Like I have like 6 Funko Pops. Yeah, well, like, dude, you have a lot of like. I don't like stuff. I obviously, if they're gifts, I have them. They're on display, but I'm not like looking online like, oh, look, it's a Punisher bust from the first series. I'm like, I don't have like any.
Yeah.
But there are things like I save everything. So I do next week on next episode. What I would like to do is I am going to go through in the next week some of the shit that she hasn't looked through yet because I have a ton of uh like my stereo I bought in 2002. So like double tape deck, 3 CD carousel on top. The carousel
I
works.
remember that.
The tape deck doesn't work because the belts broke, which are basically like rubber bands. I do want to fix them and throw a tape in there and see how it plays through my like I showed a picture of that to our friend like a year ago. I sent a picture of this my stereo. She's like, no one has stereos anymore, Lou. I was like, I have my Bluetooth thing hooked up to it. I hook my phone up to it. But I still, even though I don't really play CDs and tapes on it, I will never get rid of it. Until it stops working, it's going to be in my house. It's an Iowa or AWA. I don't know how AIWA. They don't make them anymore. I bought it from not was it PC Richards or it wasn't the Wiz. The Wiz, which was like a Northeast electronics store, that was already like out of business. I think it was. I think it was PC Richards. That's where I got it from.
Oh, okay.
I don't think the store exists anymore, and nor does that stereo exist. Like if you look it up, it's
Richards I think still exists.
Does it?
But not the Wiz or Circuit City.
Yeah. So next week, I think let's try. I would like to.
You know what I have too is I have my iPads or iPods. Whoa. And they only work on the iPod tower. So if I take it off the tower, it immediately dies. So I can still I still have all my music on it, but I can only keep it on there to listen to it.
What you should do is put it on the tower and then try to get the tower to a computer or something and get everything off of there.
You told me about this, and next time you're here, I want you to show me how to do that.
I don't know how to do it. I'm just saying there's got to be a way.
But you know things.
Do you still have the cord that goes into the iPod? Definitely not.
Somewhere, right?
I doubt it because I guarantee you, because I had an iPod Mini. I never had Apple products, but like in early 2000, maybe like 3 or 4, I got one for Christmas because the iPod Mini just came out. Like it was like the one because the Mini still had a screen, the Shuffle didn't. The Shuffle was just like a fucking like a thumb drive that held music. And I remember when it finally, I dropped it so many times. They were robust. It finally broke. When I broke it open, because I was like, I want to see what the fuck is inside an MP3 player. And that's all it is. It's a mini hard drive, which a mini hard drive, and it looks like a record player. It's a little disc. It looks like a CD player with an arm, and the arm plays the disc. All the information. That's all it fucking is.
Yeah.
Technology like computers, I'm sure they're upgraded since then, but even like 15 years ago, I'm probably still my shitty old computer now. It's like a big CD player.
So the way those towers are that it has the charger, right? So you put it onto the charger on the dock. But the thing is that it'll go to full power, like 100% battery, and then as soon as you take it off.
Yeah, because it's not. What's happening is that lithium battery has lost its ability to charge. So what I'm saying is, if you have the cable should be. I remember that iPod, like it looks like a bug face. It's like long and it's got like teeth. Snap it in and then plug that USB into your computer. That should turn the iPod on, and then you can be able to pull everything off of it. But yeah, we can. That's something we'll do off the podcast where we could do it through video, and I could help you like get the fucking stuff off there before it finally like really dies completely. But bring it and the tower. Like we talk about it because it's not that old to us, but an iPod, that tower docking station, that's all like way beyond outdated technology. That shit's over, Kev. No one's using that anymore. Now people go, Alexa, play, whatever, like who, I don't know, I don't even know who they are anymore. Play I don't even know. I don't even know anybody. I don't know any of the new pop hotness anymore. What's her name? What's the one
I
that
just want
looks
to
like
see what
a?
you say. I'm not even going to help you. I want to see what you say.
Yeah, no. What's her face? She has a weird name. She dresses like like
Charlie
a drag queen.
XCX?
No, no, no. I don't know who that is. Oh, no, what the hell? Chapel Roan, that's her name.
Oh, yeah,
Said
yeah.
Alexa, play Chapel Roan. And it's just like, whatever their songs are. I
I
don't
actually
fucking
like
know.
some of her songs.
Yeah, we have children, so like I get it. If you have children, like my sister has kids, you just get like you know what my nephews listen to? Like YouTube slop. They listen to like right now they love around Christmas time they were playing like all the AI Indian versions of songs where it's like an Indian guy's voice singing like pop songs. That like just back to back of that. I'm like, this is crazy. But they used to like that song by what's that guy's name from back in the day from American Idol, the Korean guy. Um
Oh, William Hung?
yeah, yeah, like that. Like what's the song? She Bang, She
Oh,
Bang.
she bad. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They like I'm like I hated the song 20 years ago.
Oh,
Why
you're okay.
of all the
So
songs
they're losers. Okay.
of all yeah of all the songs you could pick for because they're just on YouTube. But I want the next episode is to have like a little lame middle-aged show and tell of like objects that like don't make sense anymore. Like I
You
know
got some homework,
somewhere,
Lou.
dude.
I
I
want.
got in my box. I got my Discmans. I definitely got my stereo, which I'll show a picture of. But what I found not so long ago, and we'll end it here. I don't want to keep like even like stuff like this thing I have laying here. This is something so I can like take all different SD cards and stuff like that, all different size SD cards. This is not old. I just got this in the last year, but like this is for like, hey, old person, do you have all these weird things from phones and cameras that don't exist anymore and you can't get them onto your computer? Well, take them and plug them into this thing and then plug in this into your computer and then you can pull the photos and pictures off because there's no other way to do it because the thing that you have doesn't fucking exist anymore. But I have a scientific calculator somewhere, like the one you like slip out of the cover. Like now they're like $10. But I remember in high school, like you have to have one of these. It was like my whole family was like, "Oh my god, we can't afford. It's like $88 for this thing I'm going to use for like 2 hours in the next 2 years."
He said we needed Texas Instruments.
Yeah, it has to be the graph. I have to be able to graph on it. And guess how many times I did that in high school? Like twice.
Lou, I
Good thing
want you
I
to go
bought it.
purchase a Chappell CD.
No, it's not happening.
CD version. And I want you to listen to Hot to Go.
I do remember that song. Was that last year that song came out?
HOTTOGO. You can't make me hot to go.
Oh, isn't that sexual innuendo super
I
cool?
always feel like every song could be turned into like a very like lounge singery type of song. You know what
Of
song I
course.
used to love doing that with? Was Ja Rule, New York. Like I always felt like if you said it like in a really positive like tone, it would sound really cool. Like if you were like, I got 100 guns, 100 clips. I'm from New York, New York. I got a semi-automatic that spits if you talk, if you talk.
Yeah, but
Right?
dude, now there's literally AI artists on Spotify, and that's all it is. It's like here's hip hop songs played as if they were made in the 30s or the 40s or the 50s. It's like doo-wop, Wu-Tang. Like it's yeah, now it's real. You could just do that. Like, hey, take this like whatever song, gangster rap song like Onyx, and sing it like it's like the big band music from like the 20s or the 30s, and it's like that's what it fucking you could just do that.
I
It's
want
slop.
to when I get older, like really old, I want to get a
Like
big robe. I want to get a big robe that like really hides my face, like where I'm like the Stone Keeper from Infinity War. And I want kids to come up to me and just say, "Oh, Stone Keeper, what was it like back then?" And then I reveal to them like all the things that I know, and like they're blown away because by then they'll have absolutely nothing to do. Like I feel like the way it is now and the way it's going to be in like 30 years, I hope I'm around for it because I know for a fact it's going to be total shit.
yeah, well, I just want you to know that you in a giant big robe and kids coming up to you is not a good look, Kev. It's frowned
Kids, they
upon.
know me, not random people like I'm
It's
fucking some
it's frowned
department
upon.
store Santa Claus. I
You
mean, like my great great grandkids, or
in 30 years, it's like 70-year-old Kevin and 94-year-old Chris Hansen's like, hey, take a seat, Kev.
right.
What are you wearing there? Just a robe?
Yeah, Kevin thinks Kevin thinks he's been the Red Skull for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
No one speaks to him anymore. I think he also has an enlarged prostate.
Yeah. Pop, that's a movie from when you were a kid. Like, I don't want to hear about it. Oh, feathers.
I'll be like, I want to discuss Monopoly today. I'll like tell them about board games. Who wants to discuss Clue? Like, I'll tell them everything.
Yeah. Well, until next week, kids. Thanks for watching.
Be Timothy Busfield.
Well, I'm just saying goodbye to the viewers, Kev, the kids who love the show.
Hopefully someone got that reference.